Hello everyone, welcome back. Topic for today's lecture is recursion. So let's see. So in C, it is possible for function to call themselves. Guys, please, if you haven't get the concept of a function, if you don't know about the function, what is function, prototype, function calling, returning function and its syntax, then must watch my video of a user defined functions in C programming. Okay, so you can get that idea, and after that you will I just suggest you to watch this video. Okay, so in C programming, it is possible for a function to call themselves. Till now, we are calling functions from other function. For example, in void main method, we are calling for some other functions like calculate area. Okay. Now, it is also possible that function can call itself. Okay. So that is called recursion. A function is called recursive if statement within the body of function calls the same function. Whenever we define function, so we define function prototype, there is somewhere the statement that is calling that particular function, and there is one portion where we have defined our function, that is called a function body. Okay, function definition. So in this function definition, if there is a single statement of calling the same function itself, then it is called a recursive function. Sometimes it is also called as a circular definition. So recursion is thus the process of defining something in terms of itself. Now let's understand this concept of recursion using one example of a factorial. Okay, so we want to calculate a factorial of particular value using function, but it is not a simple function, it is recursive function. Okay, so over here this is my main method. Okay, inside this main I have declared two variable of integer type a and fact. After that, printf any number. This is the number of what you want to find in factorial. Okay, and scanf %d ampersand a, address of a. Now fact is equals to factorial a. Okay, so this is function calling, and what is name of function? That is factorial. So now you can get the idea that if we are calling this function, then later on this function should be defined somewhere in this program. Okay, so after that, just printf statement, factorial value is equals to %d fact. Okay, and this main method is complete. Now let's see factorial method. Okay, now over here you can see this fact is variable of integer. Okay, and it is holding whatever this function is returning. That means this factorial, there is one mistake over here. Okay, missing t over here, but it's okay. Now inside this function there is one variable of integer f. Okay, now over here you can see in argument, this is formal argument, there is one variable integer x. So this variable, this x holds value of a. Okay, so value of a is copied into this x. Okay, and now inside this factorial function there is one condition, if statement, if x is equals to 1. Okay, if x is equals to 1, then what? Then it will return 1. Okay, then it will return 1. If it is not, then else f is equals to x multiplied by rec over here, but its value is not is equals to x, then what? Then f is equals to x multiplied by factorial of x minus 1. Now this statement is very important. You can see over here this statement is calling function itself. Okay, what is name of this function? You can see this is function call, but its argument is just -1 of previous call. Okay, over here it was x, and over here we are calling now x minus 1. Okay, so this is function, and within this function we are calling function itself. Okay, so this is how it is called recursive, or I can say circular call. Okay, and finally return f. Okay, so this return value, it will be copied into fact variable and we will just print this factorial value. Okay, now let's just understand this program. Okay, let's say user has entered 5. Okay, whenever this printf statement execute, enter any number. Let's say user has entered value 5. So what will happen? A is equals to 5. Okay, now after that, over here factorial of a. So what it is? Factorial of a, and what is value of a? That is 5 right now. Okay, and whenever this function is called, so inside over here, inside this, x will become 5, integer f. This also, if x is equals to 1, now inside this function, whenever this function is called, x is equals to 5. Okay, now inside this function, this if statement will be executed. If x is equals to 1, then only return 1, but over here x is equals to 5, not 1. Okay, so control goes to else part. Now inside this, what it is? F is equals to, now what is value of x right now? That is 5 multiplied by, what is this? Factorial of x minus 1. Now what is value of x? 5. So 5 minus 1, and it becomes 4. Now over here you can see this is another function call. Okay, this is another function call. So what will happen from over here? Once again, this 4 is copied into this particular x. So now x becomes 4. Okay, now x becomes 4, and inside this again control check for this if statement. If x equal 1, no, x is not equal to, it is 4, so condition false. Else f is equals to x factorial x minus 1. So again this statement will be executed. So now f is equals to, what is value of x right now? That is 4. Okay, multiplied by factorial and x minus 1, so that is 4 minus 1, so it becomes 3. Okay, and it is again function call. So over here, now this is function call. So again function control goes to this statement, and value of a, that is right now 3, it is called into this x. Okay, so your x become, okay, now after that, if condition now x is 1, no, x is not 1, so control goes to else part, and f is equals to, what is value of x? That is 3 multiplied by factorial of x minus 1. What is value of x? 3 minus 1, that is 2. Okay, so 2, again it is function call. So control goes to over here at function definition, and now x is equals to 2, and again x does not equals to 1, so condition become false, and f is equals to 2 multiplied by factorial of 1. How 1? Because x minus 1, so 2 minus 1 is equals to 1. Okay, so over here, whenever this time function is called, you can see, so value of x, what will become value of x over here? So x becomes 1. Okay, and you can see this condition is true now. Okay, condition is true, so it will return 1 over here. Okay, so it will return 1 over here. So whenever, so it will just return 1. So what will happen? This function's value, it will become 1. Okay, so it returns 1. Okay, and 2 multiplied by 1. So it will becomes f's value, and you can see over here after execution of this statement, the statement is return f, okay. So this value is also returned to this particular again function call, okay. So 2 into 1, so what is value of this f is 2, and over here there is one statement return f, so this value is returned to this particular function call, so it becomes 2, okay. Again f is equals to 3 multiplied by 2, that is 6, okay. And again this is after that return statement will be performed, so return f, so what is value of f, that is 6, okay. So it will become 6 over here, okay. Now after that f is equals to 4 multiplied by 6, okay. So 24 and return f, so this value is returned to this function call, so again it will be 24, and this is equals to 120, okay. And return f, so this return it will be stored into this fact variable, so after that this will be stored into fact is equals to 120. So over here this is this variable, okay, over here this variable fact. So this is the flow of recursive function call, and after that finally we are just printing factorial value, okay. So now let's just see, don't save, let's see output of this function over here. If you enter number 1, then it will just return value 1. How? Because if we pass 1 over here, then condition becomes true and it will just return 1. If any number is 2, then perform the same way as we have I have demonstrated you, okay. So over here you can just see this is just a flow of this function execution, okay. We have already seen this, so 5 multiplied by 4, and this will return this and this, okay. This is another representation of factorial recursive call, okay. Over here you can see from main this function is called, and again this function is calling itself. So what will happen, this control goes to the from here, again this calling itself, so here, and this is just returning value, so value returns to this statement. This is returning also after execution is this statement, so it will control goes to here, and again after that return statement, so it goes to main function, okay. It is just a circular call and returning value to the origin of calling function. So this is all about a recursive call, okay. I hope you understood it, and there are many examples of that you can implement using recursive function call. So you just need to keep practice over on this topic, okay. Bye bye.